games too, right? So those are, they still have world-class players. Their analytics say that they're one of the best teams in the league. They're second in offense, even strength. I think they're fourth in expected goals in the power play, and it's not scoring for them. Their goaltending's been really good, and they've given up 66, so have we, and we're one of the best defensive teams in the league. So the three losses, for me, don't tell me where they're at. I think we look at Dallas and Pittsburgh in the exact same way. They're both capable of being very elite teams. And if you're looking for how you're generating offense, they're going to beat you bad, because they're just, if you trade even chances with them, history would say their goals, the production of the people that they have will beat you. So I thought we mentally managed that concept well against Dallas. Same kind of thing. They got a powerful offensive team and a good defensive structure, and we're going to have to do the same tonight.
How do you look at the game within the game a little bit between the centers? Obviously, they have Malcolm Crosby.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because I went into the last game with the idea of Barkov on Hintz and Bennett on Duchesne, and 2 rotations through. We hadn't got a shot on goal. They had 6, so we had to fix that. So you have an idea of what you think will work. And I think for both teams, there'll be a much harder match on the back end, right? They'll work hard. Their top 4D will get out against our top 2 lines. We'll do the exact same thing, and after that, it's probably shift length and energy.
Any lineup changes?
None.
I was talking to Pete DeBoer the other day, and I mean, he said you've done a really good job of kind of adjusting your coaching towards the newer game and all the toys you got here with the good defensive forwards, the fast defensemen. I mean, what have you kind of seen from yourself since you've come here and gotten to get to use all the pieces you have?
Yeah, I mean, so Pete and I we came into coaching together at the same time, and then I went to the National League, and he stayed in junior for a long time. And then after that, our careers kind of mirrored, and for those of you old enough, like George, you'll remember Pete here and the team that he had. And he took a team that wasn't great and built. So both of our early careers, and I spent a lot of years with that kind of team, right? You're trying to build them to becoming a good, and then you get to a place like this, and they got a whole lot of good pieces here. But I spent actually a fair amount of time talking to Pete last year in the summer about this team. Because he was going into Dallas, a team that had had some success recently, but they had a real strong defensive structure, and he was trying to open them up a little bit. And I think we both agreed there was going to be a far greater challenge here, taking 132 all offense and getting them to play a game that they could defend. So the challenge was great until you walk in the room and meet the people, and then the players are, we want to defend too, we want to win, we'll do the hard things. So it wasn't as difficult in some ways. It was more difficult from a perception point of view, because, and I understand that the fans were used to seeing these guys go up and down the ice and score every third shift and win by a whole bunch, and everybody knew that we couldn't sustain it in the playoffs. But the players in the room, there wasn't really a fight there to play better defensively. It's just not something that's easy to do, and you got to learn how to do it. So I got a really good staff here, and that's not just coaches, it's trainers, it's management. We all work well together. Most importantly, though, we got good players in our room, and you're a lot better coach when you have good players.
This was the best situation you've ever walked into,
Yes.
pretty much by far.
From a talented point of view.
Yeah, from
sure.
a talent,
Yeah.
right. Was that something you had to adjust to? I mean, like you said, you've got all these
No.
talented players, but you want to change the way they play.
It's easier. First of all, this isn't that. This is not brain surgery, right? The game it's still just hockey, and it's hard. And over the course of the last 50 years, there's some true things you got to play real hard if you got a chance to win. So the players were very, very receptive when we got here, because they knew they had a pretty good team. They scored enough goals, but they couldn't understand why they weren't winning, and why was there so much frustration in the playoffs. Now, that's not an easy thing to change then. But what's the advantage? There's a lot more when you're taking a team and you're building them from scratch, or worse, you're kind of tearing them down, and then you're getting young. They have to believe you for years, because it's not coming in the first month. Here, they only had to believe me for about 4 or 5 months, right? Just stay with it. This is going to be hard, but just stay with it. You're going to be fine. And then all of a sudden, because they're good, start winning some hockey games. Go, well, maybe this is good, and then it's theirs, right? They off they go. So having good players just shortens the time before the game of hockey teaches them they're right, not so much me.
And in lineup, you said Bob's in.
Correct. Yeah.
And how easy does a guy like Barkov make it to kind of do the things you want to do, but also have the personality of the group still there with the guys jumping up? It seems like the system kind of runs through Barkov sometimes.
Well, I don't have to. You don't have to ever hide him on the ice, right? If you win a Selke and you're a point of game guy, you can play against anybody all night long. Left-handed draw man, so that makes it really easy. The best part about Barkov actually is he's still trying to get better and change his game, and he's willing to change his game. And sometimes, and this is understandable, when you get an elite player, he's not adding much to his game. You know, I'm a really good player. I don't have to change much. But you've noticed a considerable more physicality in his game, going back towards from I would say the last month of the season, but really into the playoffs and then through here. Now, we don't want Barkov running around, you know, trying to kill. But he is far more physically engaged in the game, which is part of the reason why it's worked so well with Sam Reinhart, right? So because they neither one of them are big hitters, but Sam will grind too. But we need both of them to be able to do that. Having Barkov, he just wants to win, right? He'll do anything you ask him to do as long as we're moving forward. And he's been great, and kind of, I never have to fight him for anything. Other than I'd like him to shoot the puck a little bit more. That's it.
Pretty good.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.